So I ask my students, I say, young men, take out your phone. So they take it out and I say, go through your screen time on the weekend. How many hours were you on your phone on the weekend? And I say, break it down to a Saturday and a Sunday. I want to ask here, what do you think that is? How many hours do you think a young individual is on their phone on a Saturday and on a Sunday? No, per day, yeah? So per day, give me an answer per day. Per day, so each day, yes, young man? MashaAllah. Anyone else? 10 hours, I've got 3 hours, so a lot of guesswork here. It's either guesswork or you guys know what you're doing, you know? Yes, Habibi. Ayya, MashaAllah. So what I found from doing a informal survey is that the average is 9 hours. There's a few very important points here. Yeah? So then I asked them, I said, go into your phones and go to the analysis. Of the 9 hours, what did you spend most of it on? So 70%, 60% to 70% seems to be on TikTok. I could say TikTok / Instagram. The rest is Snapchat. The rest is, you know, a bit of scrolling, good or bad, videos, games, friends, and so on. I'm not sure if you feel the gravity of this situation. So here is a young person in a stage of life where he's supposed to build stamina, build mental capacity, build intellectual capacity, build rigor, build knowledge, build character. And if you assume, 10 hours in sleep, then he's spending the next 10 hours scrolling. The highest I have found is 14 hours. The lowest I have found is 6 hours per day. You don't know its consequences because you're distant from students. I'll tell you some of the consequences. One of the students was told at Salah time that, sweetheart, go pray. So she went reluctantly, then came back crying to the teacher. Why did you force me to pray? So as soon as I heard this, you see, I have done a lot of work in this space. I joined dots that normal people don't know. So as soon as I heard this, I sent the young lady to me and I said, sweetheart, can you take out your phone? And I'm very polite this way, like I said, they took out their phone. I said, how many hours were you on the phone on the weekend? So she said 11 hours Saturday, 12 hours Sunday. I said, of that, how many percentage of time were you on TikTok? So she smiled, 75%. So now just think about this. There's a young Muslimah on TikTok. She's not watching Islamic lectures. There's no. So what is she watching for 11 hours? Other girls her own age, or a bit older, a bit younger, maybe doing makeup tutorials, maybe doing dancing, maybe talking about relationships, maybe making fun of their parents, maybe making fun of strictness, maybe giving. All of those are seeds in a very innocent, fertile head and heart. The problem with seeds, you see boulders. You know what a boulder is? You know those big massive rocks, or this like a 2-meter big rock. Occasionally those rocks crack. Do you know why they crack? Because a little gap forms in the rock, a seed falls into that, rain, water, dirt over many years, a little weed grows, the weed's roots grow, eventually that pushes and it cracks a formidable rock apart. So the seeds of disbelief are like this. They enter the heart as nothing. And then before you know it, a weed has come out, a tree has come out, and it's breaking the heart. And that is why the hadith that our Shaykh used to quote, وَيُمْسِي كَافِرًا وَيُمْسِي مُؤْمِنًا وَيُصْبِحُ كَافِرًا, will come where a person will go to sleep a Muslim, wake up a disbeliever. He will wake up a disbeliever, go to sleep, wake up a believer, go to sleep a disbeliever. You know, when I read the hadith, most people read it as something to be afraid of, and it is. The question is this will not happen ordinarily. Like, what type of environment, conditions would have to be created for this to become a reality? And this is the condition that it needs. 11 hours of programming. 11 hours of mockery of the essentials of deen. So the religious ruling is that if deen is being mocked, you're not allowed to sit in that gathering. Sit in that gathering until they change topics, then you can come back. And when they mocked religion or matters of religion, they told the Prophet, we were just joking. And says, say with Allah you were joking. The matters of religion you were joking. Halal and haram you were joking. You have become disbelievers after your belief. And this kufr is kufr akbar. It is ikhraj min al-millah. And it requires natq al-shahadatain to come back in. So if the Prophet was so cautious of Muslims hearing ill talk about religion, Muslims seeing Islamic values being transgressed or trampled upon, that He did not even allow us to sit in religion called it kufr because of how pertinent and how important and how effective this medium is to the heart. What do you think the ruling would have been on a child watching endless hours of encouragement to haram, endless hours of encouragement to sin? Like if you see 10 different girls have boyfriends and you don't have a boyfriend, you feel like you're abnormal and not doing the right thing. And if your parents are the one telling you don't do it, all of a sudden, the parent that is trying to protect his daughter is now becoming an oppressive, over-regulated father. All of a sudden, the teenager is now talking about, I am being abused, I am being restricted, domestic violence at home. So this is the fruits. The real question, dear ones, and I have told Ahl al-Ilm and Ahl al-Fadl to talk about this in your khutbahs because the Ummah are oblivious. The mom and dad are so out of touch with technology, they don't even know what's going on. Or there's such a big generational gap that they might know, but they don't want to know. Khalas, let this business be. But with his own hard-earned money, he comes and gives his daughter and son a smartphone. With his own hard money, he buys plans for them, internet, data. And his own house in which he's paying rent or mortgage, the child is housed. In a room that you have furnished, he locks himself. For 14 hours, he's reeling. Like, where is the wisdom in the ummah gone? Dear ones, many things are normal. Many things are prevalent. Many things are fashion. They're not necessarily right. When Allah makes you a parent, He makes you responsible to save that child from haram and direct him towards halal. Save yourselves and your family from the fire. There's a double problem here for you. There's a double problem here for you. His failure of the akhirah is a sin on you. Like if you as the lord of the house, as the master of the house, as the father of the house, if you are equipping your child with tools to do haram and pushing them towards Jahannam and fast tracking them that way, you have failed in the task that Allah tasked you with, because He tasked you with it. In these matters, you don't worry about fashion. You sit with the child, you research a little bit, you show him all the data, you show him all the research, you say, sweetheart, I can't trust the world with you. Like, you are fine, but the world is an ugly world, and I can't trust your iman to this. So that's the matter of akhirah. If you even leave akhirah aside, and the matter of dunya, my dear parents, on which planet will a young child, a teenager, have a smartphone, data enabled, endless access, better at it than you, better at it than the government has made social media illegal, prohibited. I have grade 7 kids come to me, sir, they have this video of you on TikTok. So I said, Habibi, where did you get TikTok from? He goes, don't worry, sir, there's ways around it. So smarter than the government and getting their way. Phone is here, book is here. In which planet, in which human will choose the book over this? Like, this is not rocket science. There's social media here. There's connection here. There's external validation here. There's friends here. There's pornography here. There's movies here. There's games here. All news and do algebra. You know, and I have people I know, GPA is 14% out of 100, 14%. And mom and dad do not have the wisdom to say, Habibi, phone after you get to uni. I'm not saying it becomes halal, the filter, khalas, until at least get to uni. So push this through, dear ones. Phone after school finishes. There is no need on the planet for a student, school age, to have a smartphone, because the distractions are much more. So this is the second point. Third point, psychologically damaging. I don't know how much, like I look around at faces, I'm scanning who knows what here, you know. Like who's aware of what. But you see, my face has its blemishes. Like I have a red spot on this side, my nose is gone a bit red. Oh yeah, normal. No, you understand? This is a normal human face. What a child sees online is not a normal human face. They see a digitally enhanced face. So faces look a lot smoother, you know, there's no more spots in there. Sometimes you look at yourself, you go, that's the one I want. You know, you look at your own picture, you see reality, you go, the digital one is much better than the real one, you know. So these little girls, boys, for 11 hours, in an age where they're psychologically, emotionally delicate, are 11 hours comparing nature to filter. and feeling frustrated, annoyed, depressed, anxious. His skin doesn't look like that skin. The shape of the body not like that shape. The flour on his coffee that Sheikh Burhan shares sometimes on his WhatsApp, not like the dull coffee that he is having. Family not as cool as his. Like for 11 hours of comparison. At the end of it, you will be lucky if you don't have psychosis. And why do you think the government finally banned it? Because they get money from it. But finally a tokenistic ban, because they have a duty to care at some stage. Someone will say, Ghabi, the child is, a young child committed suicide because he couldn't get the perfect selfie. He was trying all the different angles. It wasn't, really hitting the thing. So how does a child reach that level? So there's a very small number of us sitting here in front of me here tonight. But each one of you have 4 or 5 friends. Guys, spread the word. We need to take control of this problem. As an educator, I tell you, there's no need for a child to have a phone until until school is finished. Having said that, I don't want you to do foolish things. You go home, break the phone, this, that, and that, chuck a tantrum. And then before you know it, you've created 10 other problems for yourself and for me. And then they'll go, where did this come from? And then they'll be, hold on, there was a man from the north who came to this simple people of the south and he said these things and consequent. So with hikmah, with wisdom, as I say, search, research, make a case, sit with your children, talk to them, listen from them, advise. They're very hard for them. They're addicted to let this go, but process. I have good news. I told my students, I said, find a car, the biggest car in your house. Get this phone, put it under the tire. Let someone reverse on it. So I thought that was a joke. And then someone came to me and goes, sir, I did it. Wallahi, I consider it an achievement. If you get rid of this. And one of the parents said, he goes, it's waste of money. I said, money is better than life. To waste money, better than life. I'm okay with you breaking it. If a child breaks it themselves, I'm not okay with you breaking it. Maybe if he's asleep and you accidentally break, a different story. But point is, figure out a way around it. I think people are here for Salah, Shaykhna, and I don't want to overstay my welcome. For your time and patience, I thank you. May Allah Rabbul Izzah accept this from us and from you. And Allah Rabbul Izzah make us of those who, when this gathering ends, are called to بدلت سيئاتكم حسنات. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
اللهم إني أسألك خيرا في كل اختيار ونورا في كل عتمة وتيسيرا لكل عسير. أسألك العوض الجميل والصبر الطويل